Hey everyone, my name is Robin Graves, and this is The World According to Graves. Yeah, I did a video yesterday. I want to do another one today, and we'll get into that second. Let me get this out of the way. Mike, Dawn of the Dead, I recommend it. This is the remake from back in 2004. It's not the original George Romero. I happen to have the rare unrated director's cut with a few more scenes in it. It's very good. And a little drink of Pepsi here. Dum 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 dum. See, Pepsi. There's a lot of things been going on. I watched the a thing on YouTube last night that was showing the Senate proceedings about why they should do something Democrats are trying to pull off. They're not even really clear. It's Nadler was the chairman, and I sat there and watched how Nadler was trying to manipulate everything and change the rules as they went along to suit his needs. And it got me thinking, how many of you remember the fiasco with Cheryl Ford and her attorney and Brett Kavanaugh? Raise your hands. How many of you remember the video I did on that? Raise your hands. Okay, well, here's what we're going to do. Brett Kavanaugh, Trump being elected, and the current Ukraine gate, as they're calling it. I have a theory about this. It's all connected, and it all revolves around Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Now, let me go back a little bit in history. Roe versus Wade was a big controversial thing that the Supreme Court voted on. And Ruth Bader Ginsburg is actually on record for saying she did not like that case. If she could, she would change her vote. Now, the woman they call Roe, her name actually escapes me at the moment. They wanted to keep her name secret, but it came out later. Um, she actually admitted after the proceedings that she lied. Now, she lied during the Supreme Court um, um, hearings or whatever the Supreme Court does anymore. She lied to prove her case. Her attorney even admitted that. Now, Roe versus Wade is still upheld. It still became a law. Even though she lied about it. Ruth Bader Ginsburg even admitted that if she had known now what she knew, if she knew then what she knows now, she would have voted differently. Now, how many of you have seen Ruth Bader Ginsburg here lately? She's not just knocking on death's door. She's beating the fucker down. All right, she could barely even. The woman barely even knows the world she's in. She's barely even able to breathe. Now, Ruth Bader Ginsburg gets taken out of the Supreme Court while Trump's in office, or a Republican period is in office. Gosh damn, Windows 10. Uh, a conservative judge is put on being appointed. That's a given, which means that there not only is there a current majority now with Ginsburg alive. Once she's gone, she dies because she's not going to resign. She's already said she'll never resign. She's proof that term limits need to be everywhere. Because if you can't do your job, get the fuck out. But once she dies, which is going to be very soon, I guarantee you, she's lingered long enough. Another conservative is going to be appointed, which means that the Supreme Court has a supermajority of conservatives. Okay, liberals will never. There will not be a liberal majority ever again. Okay, now a lot of you out there are going, yes, we want this to happen. Great, let it happen. Whatever. Excuse me, voice. I've been going since 4:30 this morning. Um, Now let's take a look at Brett Kavanaugh. There's the fiasco that happened with him and Cheryl Ford. They didn't want Kavanaugh. They wanted to postpone this as long as they could and hopefully get Trump out of office and have a leftist put into office. who will appoint a liberal judge. Didn't happen. It didn't happen. And how many of you here recently remember another accusation against Kavanaugh? This happened here recently. Cheryl Ford's attorney decided to come forward and say that there's another accuser, even though the accuser doesn't remember it happening, said it never happened, and was never there in that location when it was supposedly happened. The attorney, Cheryl Ford's attorney, excuse me, I get a little ahead of myself, I gotta slow down, made a comment that it did happen. She knows it happened, even though she was never there, never saw it, and didn't know anything about it till about 10 minutes before she decided to start claiming things. Yeah, okay. And it flopped. Oh, wow, it failed big time. So they're backing off from that. So what's Nancy Pelosi doing now? Oh, she's all for impeaching Trump now. Let's impeach him. Get him out of the way. Get Trump out of the way. They think they're going to put another Democrat in office, which means that as soon as Ruth Bader Ginsburg kicks off the mortal coil, and kicks off this mortal coil, they're going to go ahead and put another liberal judge in her place. And that means that they get a little more say. They still can't really count very high, evidently, because still look at the balance of power in the Supreme Court. This whole Ukraine thing is another witch hunt. I said I watched Nadler changing the rules during the hearing, inquest, this, that, whatever he wanted to call it at the given moment, just to suit his needs. He was called to point of order. He denied the point of order, said they don't have the point of order in this kind of thing, which it was shown, yes, it did. He still said, I deny it. But, that just goes to show me that he's crooked. There was something crooked going on. And I was sitting there thinking about this about 9 o'clock last night. I couldn't sleep. And I'm sitting there watching more and more on YouTube about this. And it hit me what's going on. This is all hinging around Ruth Bader Ginsburg. You get Trump out of the way. Get another judge on the Supreme Court out of the way. All of a sudden, you have a liberal president appointing 2 more liberal judges. This is all about Ruth Bader Ginsburg. This whole thing is. This has nothing to do with the Ukraine, which the leader of the Ukraine actually said nothing untoward ever happened during a conversation. Now, everybody's saying, well, this is to protect Joe Biden and his son and their illegal dealings. People on the right, I have to tell you, how many Democrats do you know of that ever got in trouble for any illegal dealings? How many? Can you name any here in the past 20 years? Not many. Biden and his son are safe. They're not going to be prosecuted. This is it's a nice idea, but get Trump out of the way. Ginsburg dies. Get rid of Kavanaugh, and there we go. The Supreme Court. We're fucked. Yep. Anything the Dems want, they get immediately. This is why I'm all for a balance of power. I want the checks and balances. I don't want either side, even Republican or Democrat sides, having... Excuse me. Wow. That made you dizzy. You guys see what's my health is the best in the world. I don't like a one-sided balance of power anywhere. Because there are snapcase Democrats out there. There are a lot of them. I've seen them. And it's not as many of them I see as there are Democrats, that are total nutcases. Most of the Democrats that are nutcases are in office. So, right now, as it looks, I do believe the Democrats are going to eat themselves alive. They are in a death spiral. The Democrat lawmakers are pretty much going to be history within the next 5 to 10 years. Believe me. What scares me about this, though, is what's going to take their place. That's what bothers me. So, thinking about that. So far, the American Communist Party is working with the Democrats right now, so that they can get their name out there and become a third party, as they're calling themselves. Sorry to tell you, folks, there's about 5 or 6 parties out there. Only 2 ever get noticed. The American Communist Party don't believe in money, so they're not going to have the money to do much. But it still bothers me what's coming next. Who's going to replace them? I personally don't believe in political parties. I was never invited to them, so what the hell? Who needs them? I don't need a political party to have an identity that I was born with. So, think about it, guys. Think about my theory here. It's a little, at first, I was thinking I'm grasping at straws. But the more I thought about it, the more it made sense. Look at all the people out there saying they will give a kidney to Ruth Bader Ginsburg if she needs one. I'll give this. I'll give that. I'll give part of my body. I'll give her my eyes if I have to. You wouldn't believe how many soy boys are big time fans of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Honestly, I don't think this is going to work out for the Democrats very well. The evidence they have about the Ukraine gate, or whatever they want to call it nowadays on the news, there's no evidence. None. They keep saying, well, we're going to release the transcripts at a later date. Why not do it now? Why not do it now and prove your case? They can't, because there are none. They're going to look for the court of public opinion is what they're trying to do. They're trying to get the public to turn against Trump. I guarantee you Trump's about 3 steps ahead right now. The man's not stupid. He may be arrogant, an asshole, politically incorrect. Says what's on his mind. He doesn't play political games. He doesn't pass the buck. But he's done good. All you out there have said that he can't accomplish anything. He's never accomplished a damn thing. You've never noticed the obvious. Our GDP in the past just a few months has gone up 2.1%. There have been a lot of presidents that have said they're going to move the capital of Israel to Jerusalem. They're going to help do this, and then all of a sudden they don't do it. They come up with an excuse. Trump did it. We have the highest black employment rate in history, the highest Latino employment rate in history. We have the best employment all around in over 50 years. That's because of Trump. Of course, you got Barack Obama out there taking credit for it, but it's because he set the groundwork. If I remember right, he's the one who said when our economy was floundering, he said, this is the new norm. Get used to it. So, before anybody decides to snap to conclusions, think about my theory, please. Think about it. Tell me what you think. You guys take care of yourselves. Come out to Douglasville, Georgia, to September Saturday this Saturday. Come on out there. I'll be doing random interviews with just people as I meet them. They're going to be posted on here. The best one's going to be posted on next week's episode of World According to Graves. Come see me, hang out. You might even be on here. Who knows? Give me, come talk to me. Let's hang out and just have fun. You guys take care of yourselves. Think for yourselves while you still can, and always talk hard. I'm Robin Graves, and this has been the World According to Graves. I will see you people if you come to Douglasville. Take care.